Welcome back to the shop. Today we're using this piece of leaf spring to forge a sword. Oh, my pelican paste fell off my anvil stump.
If your project requires a lot of drawing out like this, usually a bigger hammer is better. Mine is a medium-sized crossbeam, so I could use a little bit larger hammer and that probably would have been helpful. But you can just take your time over the course of multiple heats and you can get anything like this drawn out to the size you need. It's just going to take a little bit.
But let's go ahead and just work this down a little bit more. I mean, honestly, it's working. I just need to get it in the center. Good enough for me. We are at the stage of the sword where we need to fuller it. The only issue is we do not have a suitable fuller for the sword. So we're gonna go ahead and make a spring fuller. It's a simple process and it's gonna be using material I already have. We have some leaf spring, it's gonna be the spring part. We have some 1-inch tubing which fits my hardy hole, and we also have some axle which will be the fullering dies. So let's go ahead and get this made so we can put some fullers in this sword. We have all of our pieces partially done. So the actual fullering dies, we got those cleaned up on the grinder. We chamfered the edges because you don't want sharp edges there. We went ahead and popped it back into the forge because I tested it on my center punch and it flattened the point. So they were definitely hardened. So we went ahead and popped them in the forge, got them really hot, let them cool down slowly. Tube was cut, and finally we got our spring steel here cut with the angle grinder. I'm going to pop it in the forge. We are going to make sure everything is nice and squared up, and then we will go ahead and get everything welded, and then we'll pop this back in the forge to get it hot in the center so we can go ahead and bend it over. I will say the last thing we're going to weld on is the tube. Everything else will be welded, and then we'll bend it to make it easier to do it. This is the setup we have for welding. I got a board to get the metal slightly off the ground. I used a little swage block for a weight to hold it. I got another chunk of metal in front of this to keep it in place. And I just took these to make sure it was centered as best we can. So let's go ahead and put a weld on this, and then we'll go do the other side.
Here's our fullering tool all finished. We're using it on the tang to lengthen it. I want this tang to be longer, and this tool is perfect for that. It's good for lengthening, widening, and putting fullers in blades. This will be a very useful tool for all future endeavors. Here we will be using the flatter to get this as even as possible. We want the sword to be nice and even, and this will just clean up some of those deeper forging marks we did. We're just going to do small sections of the blade until we get the whole blade done.
So currently what I'm doing is just cleaning up the edge, making it even throughout. That way we have a nice clean forging to go off of. Ideally, I would be using this flatter with someone else, but I don't have an extra person to hit the hammer. We are going to start this fuller, and we will start it right at the tang. We will flip it around each time to hopefully get a uniform fuller.
Something I can't stress enough is you need to take your time when starting your fuller to begin with. You want it to be nice and straight, so I would go over the entire piece like I'm doing with a light fuller and take your time, and then once you get that fuller nice and established, you can go ahead and go back over it with a harder hitting pass, which I will do here in just a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and get this fuller roughed in a little bit more.
Okay, we already have the fuller roughed in really good. I've went over a few more passes to deepen it. We are finishing the deepening of the fuller. After every few hits, you want to flip it to keep a even fuller on your sword. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. We got a lot done. We got the sword forged, 21-inch blade, and a 7-inch tang. We made the tool to fuller it, which we do have a couple tool marks in here, so we need to round those edges of the tool a little bit more than we already did. But overall, I'm extremely happy. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you guys in part 2 of the sword build. Thanks.